Winners, butt kickers, champions in life. Vincent Rose here, the Fat Killer with H2G Fitness, coming to you from behind the wheel of my car. And I hope each and every one of you is having an incredible day thus far and having a good morning. And I just wanted to put out a real quick message for you guys, and it is on the topic of complacency. And it's a pretty important topic because when people get complacent in their lives, nothing good comes from it. I once heard a definition of complacency, and it was this: complacency is when you grow comfortable with your current set of circumstances without being aware of the very present dangers. I'll repeat that. Complacency is when you grow comfortable with your current set of circumstances without being aware of your very present dangers. And to drive this point home, I'm going to give you a fun little fact about frogs, right? Here's a fun little fact about frogs. I don't know if it's a fun little fact, but it's a little fact. If you take a pot of water and put it on a stove, leave the stove off, and it's at room temp, right? The water is room temp, and you put a frog in there, it's a very comfortable environment for a frog, right? And so the frog will hang out in that water and it won't go anywhere. Well, if you were to very slightly turn the stove on, not very much, but just raise the temperature of the water just a little bit, the frog will adapt to the rising temp, and it will still continue to hang out in that water. Well, if you were to very slightly raise the temperature in that water again by turning the stove on just a little bit more, again, the frog will adapt and it won't go anywhere. And you can continue, wash, rinse, repeat this process, slightly increasing the temperature just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, all the way until the point where that water is literally boiling. And the frog will never jump out, because every time you slightly raise it, the frog will grow comfortable, adapt, it's not aware of the very present dangers, and it will continue to hang out in that environment, and it's complacent. It's not going to go anywhere. Well, how does this relate to life? There's 4 areas of your life that I deem important, right? Fitness, finance, family, and faith, right? And you should always be thriving in each and every one of these areas. You should always be moving forward. You should never be moving backwards. But if you ever at any time for any reason grow complacent in one of these areas, you'll start moving backwards, because nothing in life is stagnant. There is no such thing as staying still. You're always moving forward or moving back. Well, what does complacency look like in each and every one of these 4 areas? I'll explain it to you. If you grow complacent with your fitness, right, you might have a fitness goal. You might be tackling that fitness goal. You might be making progress in your fitness goal, and you're moving forward, you're losing weight, you're building muscle, you're feeling better, your energy is higher, and everything is going well. But you reach a stage where you're not at your goal, but you're kind of happy with what you're seeing in the mirror, and so you stop eating as good, right? You start sneaking some treat meals in there. I'm looking pretty good. I can have this, I can have that. You stop doing the workouts that you were doing. I don't feel like it today. I'll just kind of, hang out, whatever. You stop doing some of the cardio that you were doing. It's not necessary. It'll be all right, kind of a deal. And you grow complacent. You are comfortable with your current set of circumstances, and you're not aware of your very present dangers. And 2 months go by, 20 to 30 pounds comes back on, and that is the side effect of growing complacent. It's not a good thing, right? What happens if you grow complacent in the area of your family? And family is also friendships or relationships, right? You got your sweetie. The first 6 months that y'all are together, you're floating on air. Everything is roses. You're walking on clouds. You're doing things like buying flowers and writing notes and keeping it fresh, keeping it new, and you're doing that whole deal. But 12 months into it, you grow complacent. You're not writing notes. You're not buying flowers. You're not sending them an out of the blue message saying, "Hey, babe, yeah, I love you." Huh? I love you too, right? Stuff like that. And you grow comfortable with your current set of circumstances without being aware of your very present dangers. Before you know it, your sweetie is somebody else is kind of a deal. Because somebody that's not complacent is going to be telling them all of those things, and it makes it very easy for them to be more desirable and you to be less desirable. What happens if you get complacent in the area of your finance? You know how much money you have coming in. You know how much money you have going out. So you know what you need to spend money on, and you know what you don't need to spend money on. You got a budget, you got savings, you got things that you have an allowance for, like date night or movie night or whatever, family night. And you have things that you're like, man, I would really like to buy this stuff, but it's just not in the budget, so I want to be a little bit more disciplined, yada yada. You start building up a savings and things are going well. Well, you get complacent, right? And you start buying things that you want versus need. You start spending money in places that you shouldn't versus should, and you grow comfortable in your current set of circumstances without being aware of your very present dangers. And before you know, something hits you that is a for real financial hardship kind of a deal. And because you've been being lax with your money, the money's not there kind of a thing. This is a negative side effect of growing complacent. You can grow complacent with your faith, right? You're going to church. You got a daily devotional. You're hanging out with other believers. Your prayer life is better than it's ever been. You feel that you're lit up like a Christmas tree all day long because it's like you have a direct link to the Holy Spirit and you're moving forward in that area. But you're like, man, I got this faith thing down. So you stop doing the things that got you to where it is that you are, and you just kind of start coasting, right? You put it on autopilot, and before you know it, life is hell on earth again for no other reason than you grew comfortable with your current set of circumstances without being aware of the very present dangers. In other words, you grew complacent, and it's never a good thing. So the purpose of this very long message is this. I'm going to encourage you guys to analyze, look at, and spend some mental energy on the areas of your life of faith, family, finance, and fitness. If in any of those areas you're kicking butt, taking names, and you're thriving, right? Keep doing what you're doing because obviously it's working. And make sure that you never grow complacent in any of those areas so that you can continue to thrive versus moving backwards. And if whenever you analyze any of those areas of your life, you realize that you have grown complacent, you're not acting like the first 6 months of your relationship. You are spending money on things that you want versus need. You're not as dialed into your faith as you know you should be. You are sneaking in a few more treat meals than what you need. Identify it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Understand, all right, check up from the neck up. I might be growing comfortable with my current set of circumstances without being aware of the very present dangers, and grab the bull by the horn, steer it in a different direction, and start having success in that area of your life. And that's my morning motto for you. So with that, over and out. Vincent Rose, the Fat Killer with H2G Fitness. The future is bright. Something good is happening. Y'all take care. Be blessed. Over and out. Don't ever allow yourself to become complacent. Nothing good comes from it. Peace.